Okay. For other students to have the video to study. Anyway, it is important for all of you to be present in class. Okay. You have to follow instructions. We have some simple instructions as to do some exercises and follow what I am teaching you. And we are going to do it together. No, not you alone, but together. And of course, respect for everyone. And as much creativity as you can develop in this class is very important. Do you have anything to add to this, Laura?
Well, the use of cameras, girls. I'm a student too, but I'm a teacher at Colombo. So for this moment, I'm going to join you. But just reminding you that as this is a virtual class, guys, it's important to keep actively using our microphones and our cameras. So right now, I would like to know, girls, if you can use your cameras, Erika and
Yes, please.
Alejandra.
Would be good.
Is it possible to use your camera?
Erika and Alejandra, can you turn on your camera?
No, es que como estoy conectada con unos datos, voy a hablar en español, perdón.
Okay,
Entonces, como que si conecto, puede que se vaya un poquito la conexión.
okay.
Okay, got it. But you're
Any-
gonna use your microphone, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, anyway, whenever you speak or explain anything or propose anything or answer any question, would you please try to speak in English, not in Spanish? And therefore, I mean, this class is not only to learn Excel, but to consolidate our knowledge in English. Okay, I'm going to share again. Now, in the chat, we have something.
It was me.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so the topics we're going to study here are the following. Okay. First of all, we're going to understand the basic operations and the screen of Excel, which is a very important topic because sometimes we don't know what to do because we don't know the screen. So we have to understand the quick access toolbar, the ribbon, the tabs and groups, the dialog boxes, launchers, the formula bar, the name box, and so on. So let's start. This is the Excel screen and its parts. The first one
Can
is the
you
title.
please make it bigger? There is an option, I think, or
I'm
I don't
going to
know.
make it bigger. Let me see if I can. Or I'm going to use another screen. And because this is,
This is from Q10, yes.
yeah, it's little. So let me try to, give me a minute, please.
Sure.
Okay.
What if you click on the icon that says PowerPoint in the corner?
Yeah, but anyway, this one. And
Ah, got you.
okay. Bigger, 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 bigger. Okay. It is
Yeah,
better?
mm. Well, to tell you the truth, the quality is not the best. What if you download it?
Yeah, will be. Let me download it. One minute, please. Okay. Mhm. Mhm, 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 mhm. Firefox, Excel, Basic, Toronto, okay. Mhm. Okay. Just a second. Mhm. I'm so sorry, it's so slow. I don't know why. Okay.
When I have access to the folder that you share with me. So
Okay,
please let me
I
know
am,
what is it? This one?
I have it,
Ah,
but
you have it?
yeah, but let me see. I'm going to. Mhm. What's that? Now, going to share. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to use the PowerPoint itself.
Yeah, much better.
Yeah. Okay. Mhm. There we are. Okay. Okay. Is it better? Can you see it better?
Yes.
Okay, so let's start again. So this is the Excel screen, and the first part you have to understand is the green lane on the upper part, which is the title bar, in which we are going to see the name of the we have another one. The name of the file you are using, or of the book, because in Excel we call them books, and books are composed by different sheets. So in the first bar, you're going to see the title, and also you are going to see what we call the quick access toolbar. This access toolbar is for you to bring some commands or buttons for commands, which you use periodically, or you use daily, or you use very commonly. Therefore, you have to fill them, I mean, to bring them, and we are going to learn how. The second part is the ribbon, which is what we call the menu. Commonly, we call the menu. File, home, insert, page layout. And therefore, in this part, we have all the commands that commonly we use, but also we can add commands, or we can create menus for us, or we can add some more commands or menus that are from factory, which means that they are created by or come with the program, but we also can add some menus and groups. What are the groups? This part, for example, this is the group of clipboard, this is the group of font, this is the group of alignment, and this is the group of number, and so on. So in each menu or each part of the screen, we have groups, and those groups refer to things that are related. For example, alignment, it is about the placement of the text, the direction of the text, and if it has tabs or not, and so on. And of course, we can hide or show the menus we need. And then we have the name box, in which we can see the place in which we are. It means the cell in which we are, or a name that represents some cells or some part of the sheet we are using. And this is the formula bar in which we are going to see both the text we write in any cell or the calculations of any cell we are in. Therefore, we are going to see in the cell the result, but in the formula bar, the formula itself or the calculation we have. Okay, now, each column has a letter, right? And each row has a number. So this is the column bar, and this is the row bar, or the line bar. Okay. Now, in the menu, we have little squares with a little arrow, which lead us or take us to a dialog box, which is a box in which we tell Excel what we need to use. We're going to see it in the practice. Now, in the lower part, we have the name of the sheet we are using, which we can change. And we can add some more sheets, well, a lot of more sheets. And then we have the status bar, which shows us ready when we are ready to introduce information, and shows us enter when we are introducing information. Okay. On the right part of the screen, we have both the scroll bars, vertical scroll bar, and the horizontal scroll bar, but we also have some buttons in order to change the view. For example, from page to printing view, or to page view, which means that Excel shows us what page we are in, okay? And the control buttons that all Windows have. Okay, now we're going to show it in reality. So I'm going to open Excel. And first of all, we are going to see if we can change the language of Excel, because sometimes we will speak from, for example, this is an English Excel, and we have the opportunity or the choice to have in different language Excel. So if you can do it, would be great for us to speak only in English and to learn the program in English. But also, there may be some Excels or versions that cannot be changed to another language. Okay? All right. I don't know why my computer is so slow today. Okay. So when you open Excel, you have some how can I call that? Some options. The first one is a blank sheet, which is the more used option that we have. But we have also some other options, like, for example, having a tutorial of Excel, an introduction to functions, an introduction to pivot tables or dynamic tables, in Spanish, tabla dinámica, and some other things like graphs and so on. On the left part, we have Inicio, which is this screen, Nuevo, which allows us to create a new kind of file, and Open, to open any file that exists. We are going to start by a white or clean book to see the parts. So here we have in this screen the first part of the Excel screen, which is the barra de herramientas de acceso rápido en español, or Quick Access ribbon, which we can move to the top of the screen, just clicking with the right button on the mouse. And let me see. This is what I'm going to do. So this is the toolbar, the Quick Access toolbar, which we can personalize, as you can see here. It is personalized. Many buttons that we can add or take away by clicking here and adding some more buttons, right? And of course, we can put that Quick Access ribbon below the menu in order to see all the icons we have, right? And in order to be able to change or take away or add some more buttons, okay? Now, the ribbon, which is called the menu, has many parts or many commands grouped by groups, right? In such a way that they are related icons in order to understand how to manage information related information. Now, as for example, this, which is to draw, have a group, which is tools to draw, okay? And formulas refers to the library of functions and names of the parts of the screen and some other commands. So each menu has groups. The next part is the name of the cell in which we are. For example, we are in D4, but we could change the name of this cell, as we are going to see later. And the formula bar or the function bar, in which we can write something in a cell, and we are going to see it in the formula bar. But if we make a command and a calculation, right, we are going to see the result here, but the calculation here, okay? That is why it is called the formula bar. Now, each of the columns has a letter, right? And it goes to sit, and then it starts A, B, A, C, and then A, sit, and then BA, BA, BB, BC, and so on, up to XFD. So you have a lot of columns to use in each of the sheets we have. Talking about sheets, we have one sheet by default, but we can add more sheets, just clicking on this plus sign, okay? And each of the sheets have the same characteristics, all of them, right? And we have in each of the sheets 1,048,000 lines or rows, okay? A lot of rows too. And at last, we have here the status bar, which says listo, in order for me to start introducing information. And when I am introducing information, listo changes to introducir. Is there somebody has the microphone open? Thank you. So let's start by understanding how to introduce information. I would like you to open your Excel and to see if we can change the language of the Excel you have, or if we are going to have it in Spanish, because we cannot change. Please open your Excel, all of you. And I'm going to welcome another of our students. Okay. Juliet and Nini, how are you?
How are you, teacher?
Very well, thank you. And you?
Fine, thank you.
Okay, what's your activity, Nini?
Sorry, teacher.
Your activity. You are a student, do you work?
Okay. I work. And I study English in the intermedio.
Uh-huh. Okay. And do you know how to use Excel? Have you had experience using Excel?
Yes, I have experience in English in Excel.
Okay, okay. And Juliet, how are you, Juliet? Are you listening to me? Juliet? Hello? Okay. Well, I hope you're listening to me. If you have any trouble, please tell us by the chat. Okay. Okay, welcome anyway. We are studying the basic of Excel. Okay, Nini and Juliet? And now you're going to open Excel, all of you, please. And you are going to see what I do in the screen, and you're going to do it in your screen. Okay? And are you understanding me, or am I speaking too fast? Nini, Erika, and Alejandra.
No, I understand, teacher.
Okay. Nini, for you is too fast? I am speaking too fast?
I understand, teacher. But in this moment, I sorry, open the new book in Excel.
Hmm?
Yes. Okay.
Please. Okay, so I'm going to share it again. My screen. The whole screen. Compartir. Okay. Now, what we are going to do is to start working with Excel, and I am so sorry with the people that already use Excel, but we have to start by the basic ones for those who haven't used Excel. And therefore, you may know something that I am going to speak about, but please, if you want to participate to explain something, you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, in Excel, the first thing we do is to organize information, and we can organize it from the very start, A1, or any place we want. And we are going to do some examples. If I want to do calculation, for example, I have some numbers, 1, done. I have some numbers. I can make any calculation just starting with the sign equal, right? Every formula or function in Excel should start by equal, or it also can start by the plus sign or the minus sign. If I start with the plus, or the minus, Excel understands that I am going to do something with numbers, okay? So the three things we can use is equal, for example, 7 times 8, or plus 7 times 8. And Excel understands that I am using the equal if I started with the plus. And I can start by minus 7 times 8. Okay, and of course it is going to be negative. So we can use equal, minus, or plus to start any function. Okay, now I'm going to add up these numbers. I can start by equal, click on the cell, plus this number, plus this number. That will be the simplest way to do it, but it is not the more practical way to do it. I'm going to do it with a function. So in Excel, we have many functions. If I need a function, I can start or write 2 or 3 letters of what I think the name of the function would be. For example, sum, SU, therefore it shows me everything that starts by SU. So it is a helping dialog box in which I can choose the function I need, in this case, summa, right? Summa, so when I double click, equal, SU, double click, and it shows me the syntaxes. This is what we call the syntaxes of a function. Syntaxes is simply the order of the function. And we have to take into account what kind of syntaxes we have. For example, if I highlight these numbers, Excel shows me that it goes from G4. I'm going to put it bigger for you to see better. Is it better now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So if I equal SU summa, double click, it shows me the syntaxes. And if I highlight these numbers, it is going to show me that it goes from G4, right, to G6, okay? This is the syntaxes, the correct syntaxes of the function, in this case, sum. And it is going to give me the same than doing it manually, right? But of course, I can also say, I want to add 2 plus 3 plus 4, right? And it goes the same. So we have 3 ways to do calculations, either manually, right? Or using the references. This is a reference. I am referring to G4. I am referring to G5. I am referring to G6. That is what we call references. So if I refer to a cell, Excel is going to use the information I have in that cell. For example, if I write my name here, Juan, and I say in G3 equal to this, it is going to show me, it is going to use the information that it is in I3. So it is going to be Juan. But here Juan is written, right? And here Juan is referenced. So I am telling Excel, this cell is equal to I3. Okay? Please feel free to ask anything anytime, please. Okay? Right. Do you have any question by now?
Not really.
No, teacher.
Okay. So what we are going to see is that we can do it manually, or we can do it with references, or we can do it using a function. Okay? There are 3 ways to do it. Now let's talk a little bit about the mouse. The mouse has different ways to use it. The first one is the white cross, which is to click on any cell or to click and highlight many cells. Wherever I start, the cell is blank, telling me that you started from there. If I start from here and I highlight downwards to the left, it shows me that I started highlighting from K4. Okay, so this is the starting, and this is the starting, this is the starting, and this is the starting. The starting cell where I started to highlight the cells. That is the first function of the mouse. The second function is if I get near the border of what I have highlighted, right? Near of the border, the mouse becomes a 4-arrow sign, right? So I can click on there and move all the information I highlighted, right? So it moves the 2, 3, and 4, right? And notice that even if I move, the references are going to follow the numbers or the places or the cells where I moved the numbers, okay? So now it is K5, K6, K7, right? Okay. The third function, I'm going to move this. The third function is the little black cross in the lower right part of the cell or of what I have highlighted, right? So I can copy the information just pulling that little black cross to whatever place I want. And if you can see, the little black cross is always in the lower right part of the cell or of the highlighted part. And that is also not only to copy, but also to delete. If I go inside what I have highlighted, it is going to be deleted. Okay? Now let's practice. Please open your Excel and let's do some little exercises. First of all, we are going to introduce 3 numbers. 1, 4, 8. Please introduce 3 numbers. Okay, let me see one thing. Okay. Okay. Se me hizo. Ok. Okay. It will be becoming crazy this. Eso sí. Okay. Now, we are going to add them up. The best way or the simplest way is to use a function. So we are going to say equal to sum in this case, and highlight the numbers. Okay. Right? Now, we are going to move all of the numbers and calculation, highlighting it, and then dragging it by the border. Dragging it by the border, where the mouse becomes a 4-arrow sign or image, if we can call them it that way. Now, we are going to delete numbers. For example, I highlight this one, and I'm going to delete the 8. So I go towards the inside part we have highlighted. And of course, the function is going to take into account only the numbers or the references that half numbers, which is 1 and 4. So the result is 5, even though it is also referring to this cell, which is the H5. So it goes from H3 to H5. But in H5, there is no information, so the sum is only about these two numbers. Okay? Any trouble? Okay.
No.
Okay. Now, we are going to see that we can use other functions, basic functions, for example, an average or promedio in Spanish. Like if we don't know how the function is named, we can say, for example, pro equal pro or PR. So we have precio descuento, and we can go through the list to see if we find promedio. Here it is. And we have some promedios like promedio sí, promedio sí conjunto, promedio A, promedio. So if we don't know what to use, what function to use, we can just click on the first function and Excel shows us a little description, a brief description. In this case, devuelve el promedio, media aritmética de los argumentos, los cuales pueden ser números, nombres, etc. So we have a description, brief description of each of them. And we can decide which one we are going to use. In this case, just promedio. Double click and highlight the numbers that we want to average. Okay, we close the parentheses and there you are. This is the average of 1 plus 4 divided by 2. So this is the average, okay? And we have also, for example, I'm going to use another number here, 6, for example. And as I didn't highlight up to or down to H5, I'm going to change this, just highlighting, double-clicking on the function and highlighting this and clicking on the one I want. That is one way. Another way is to just pulling the little square down in order for the function to understand that the range is from H3 to H5. Okay, so any number I change, both functions, the sum and the average, are going to change automatically because they are referring, remember, these are references referring to those cells in which those numbers are included. Okay? Any question? Okay.
Not in my case.
Okay. Now, we are going to use some more basic functions, like, for example, finding the maximum number. So maximum, and let's see, max M, and we have find here max. But if you don't know, because we didn't find the function, we need writing some letters to see if it shows me the list of those functions that start with those letters. So we can go to this little button, which is FX, or F de X, as we call it in Spanish, and we click on it, and we are going to have the dialog box in which we can investigate, search, look for the syntax, or define whatever, or definition of whatever function we need. So the first thing is that we can write down here the name of the function we need. For example, we need la moda, or mode in English, moda, and ir is going to show me what is related with that word or those words I wrote in this little square and it shows me all the functions related to what I wrote there. Or we can simply go to a category, which are divided by, I mean, this is a list divided by categories. So we have different functions, the recommended ones, or we have the recently used, or we have all of the functions. Excel has lots of functions, so it starts ordered, alphabetically ordered, and we can go through the list to find the function we need, right? When we click on the function, it is going to tell me the syntax of that function here, and a little explanation or a brief explanation of what it's or what I am going to get using that function. But even, I mean, if I don't understand what the function means or how to use it, I just click en aceptar, accept, and it is going to show me a dialog box in which we have the parts of the syntax, right? Right. And when I click on that part, any of them, I'm going to receive an explanation of what it is and what we have to use there. So x is the value of the function, a number, no negative number. Lambda is the parameter value, and accum is a logical value that produces blah, 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 right? But even if I don't understand what it means and how to use it, I can get some help or a very complete help about this function. So when I click on ayuda sobre esta función, it is going to show me a big explanation in the helping function of Microsoft. And it is going to explain from the very simple understanding to the very complex use of this function, going through an explanation, then the syntax, then observations, and what it means mathematically talking or algebraically talking or calculating, understanding of the function itself. And then we go through an example, right? So that example, and we could copy and bring to the Excel itself to, I'm going to cancel here, I'm going to copy it here, and it explains me with an example copied from that page, and it shows me how to use the function itself, right? Okay. Okay, understood. So if I need help with a function and I don't know what function I need or what function or how to use that function, I click on FX and find the function, either writing here or clicking here in the kind of function we're going to use, for example, a logical function, right? And I look for the function I need, for example, an if, which we are going to study, and accept. It shows me the syntax of the function and what each part we have to use in the function. And if I don't understand still, I can go for help. Okay? Do you understand what I am telling? Do you have any question?
Not really.
Okay, now we are going to do an exercise. So please, let me see. We are going to, oh, okay. Excuse me, I'm going to, okay. Okay. Here we are in our, okay. Okay. Our second part of the class is we are going to do an exercise. So let me see where, excuse me, I'm going to stop sharing one moment. Okay, anyway, do you have any question by now about the Excel screen and how to use the basic mouse forms and the basic functions? Alejandra, Erika,
Teacher.
Laura? No questions? Okay. Now I'm going to show you this is our classroom, virtual classroom. And in class 1, we have an exercise. I'm going to ask you to download that exercise, right? With this button here, to start doing an exercise about the incomes, monthly incomes, and monthly expenses, and applying all what we have been.
Are you sharing
listening.
your screen?
Oh, sorry. I'm not. Okay. Share my screen. Okay.
No, we see it. Yep.
Okay. So this is our virtual classroom. Did you have access to our virtual classroom?
I do.
Okay.
What about you, Nini, Erika, or Alejandra?
Yes, I
Okay.
can do.
So please download the file called exercise 1 in the class 1. Exercise 1, basic personal financial management. And we are going to work with that file. Mhm. And we are going to work together. I'm going to go slowly for you to see what we are doing and for you to do the exercise together with me, okay? This is our exercise. So we have our screen divided in two parts. On the left part, we have monthly incomes, and on the right part, we have monthly expenses, okay? So let's start by saying that we have in January a salary of, I don't know, 3 million pesos. So we just write, let me see. Whenever you open a file that you have downloaded or that you have received by any means, like for example, WhatsApp or an email or something like that, you have to allow edition to the file if you trust the source. But if you, for example, download the file from an unknown source, it is important to take some preventions. We can say that in order not to receive a virus or something like that, okay? A Trojan or something that is going to affect the computer. But in this moment, it is a trustable source. Okay, so in January, we earned 3 million pesos, right? And we have money from parents, I don't know, 5,000 pesos, 500,000 pesos. And we have earnings for business, 200,000 pesos. And extra earnings, I don't know, 600,000 pesos. And bank earnings, which are very low now. We can have, for example, I don't know, 50,000 pesos. And freelance earnings, because we are YouTubers and we earn money, we have 400,000 pesos. Okay. Now, we are going to say that our salary is the same. The money from parents is the same. But business earnings, extra earnings, and bank earnings, and freelance earnings are going to rise a little bit month by month. Okay, have you already copied the values we have in January?
Yep.
Okay. The rest of the students, have you?
Yes,
Yes,
teacher.
teacher.
Okay. So look at what I'm going to do. Salary is the same, money from parents is the same. So I am just going to use the little square. I'm going to highlight the two values. I'm going to pull the little black cross to February and to March because it is the same, okay? But business earning, extra earnings, bank earnings, and freelance earnings are going to change. For example, business earnings are growing at a rate of, I don't know, 5% a month. So I can say it is equal to this value times 5%. So I can use the percentage sign in order to tell Excel that I am going to multiply by 5%. But I have to add the value before to 200,000, because if I just multiply, it is going to tell me the 5% of 200,000 is 10%. So what I have to do is to say equal to this times, I can do it in two ways, 1.05, which means multiply it by 1 and add 5%. It's a mathematical logic, right? So I'm going to have the number plus 5%. Or I can use equal to the number times 1.5%. Let's see if I get the same result. It is not. So I have to understand that I have to multiply it by 5%, and then I'm going to add the number. Let's see. Then we have a result. I'm going to make it bigger for you to understand or to see better. So I have three ways of doing it. Multiplying it by the percentage, I'm going to raise the income, and then adding up the value we are using, right? Or, well, I can do the other way around. I can say it is this plus, and we could use parentheses, right? This one times 5%, okay? There you are. So we have three ways of doing it. The easiest way is the one we are going to use, which is equal to this number times 1.05. This 05 means 5%, right? So I am multiplying it by 1 and adding up, I am multiplying it by 1 and adding up a 5% of that value, right? So any percentage additional percentage to this figure is represented by the decimal part. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, teacher.
Okay,
Yes, teacher.
great. So we have, if I copy it, it is going to it is going to calculate this over this and this over this. Why? Because we have a reference, in this case, refer to B5 and multiply it by 1.05. And when I copy any function, Excel understands that I'm going to displace or to have the next cell for the calculation. In this case, I have B5. When I copy it, it says C5. And it keeps the 1.05, which is a simple number. It is not a reference. If I had a reference, it would use the next cell reference to calculate. Do you understand that? So that is what we call relative references. Relative references. It is relative because it is going to move when I copy the function or when I copy the cell. Okay? If it is not relative, it is an absolute or fixed reference, which we are going to study later. Okay? Now, do this one, please, and then copy it. So you have to have 210,000 for February, and for March, you have to have 220,000 and 500. Okay. Now we're going to do the same for extra earnings, but we are going to use the percentage of 1.08, 8% by month. Okay, 8%. Please don't forget to save, because if we don't save and it fails, we're going to lose all the information. Click on the saving button. Okay, now bank earnings. Let's think that bank earnings grow 1% a month. So it is equal times 0.01. That is 1% a month. And we copy it. But I am going to, no, it is not 0, but 1. 1.01. Okay. And for next month, it is the same. And for freelance earnings, we are going to say that it is 10% a month times 1.1. Okay. There you are. So for business earnings, 5%. For extra earnings, 8%. For bank earnings, 1%. And for freelance earnings, 1%. No, sorry, 10%. And then you copy it.
Can you repeat the one for extra earnings? It just
For extra earnings? For extra
1.00.
Sorry?
Yeah, I'm seeing the function.
Okay. The function. Well, whenever you multiply any number by 1 point and something, for example, 10, 20, 25, 08, 05, it means that you're going to add the number you are multiplying and determining a percentage additional to the number itself. So if you multiply by 1.08, it means that you're going to have the number plus 08%, 8%. But here there is an explanation that I have to do. I'm going to use a new sheet and I'm going to explain this way. For Excel, the percentage go from 0 to 1. So if I have a number and I say it is this times 1, no, for example, 0.05, it means that it is going to take or extract a percentage of 5 from the number. It means this is 5% of 40. Okay, but if I want to represent a number in percentage, I can say, if I say, for example, 50, and I convert it into percentage, and I convert it into percentage, like for example, using this, which we are going to study later, it is going to show me that 50% represents, 50 represents 5,000%. So if I want to represent percentage, I have to write it with decimals. So I can say 0.75, and then I convert it to percentage, it is going to be 75%. So for Excel, percentage go from 0 to 1. Is it clear for you?
Yes.
Okay, so going back to our sheet, we have our earnings for 3 months. Now we are going to calculate our total incomes. So I'm going to ask one of you to explain me how can I get the total incomes for each month? Who wants to explain? Let's see, for example, Alejandro.
Me, teacher. Okay,
Who?
sorry.
Nini.
Me, teacher.
Please
Okay.
explain.
I use equal, sum,
Equal, sum, in Spanish, suma.
suma, and double clip.
Parentheses.
Suma. Yes, and shows the range is
Highlight.
B.
Highlight.
Okay, highlight.
Highlight the range. Okay.
B8 and close.
Close.
What do you say?
Parentheses. Parentheses.
Parentheses.
Exactly.
Okay.
That is it. That is the total income for January. And if I want to know for February and March, what would I do?
You can be in the total income from January, and then in the corner there
Here?
is a plus, yeah, and then you can move into the right. Is it
Okay.
possible?
Clicking on the mouse and dragging it to the right. Okay. Those are our incomes, our monthly incomes. Great. Great. Now, I want to know what is the average of our incomes. Who tells me how can I take the extract or calculate the average? For example, let's see, Juliet, are you there?
Yes, teacher. Sorry, teacher.
Okay. Would you please try to explain how to get the average?
No, teacher, I don't know.
So let's think. The first thing I have to start to do is to say equal to what? If I don't know the function, what can I do, Juliet?
Manual.
Sorry?
Do that manual.
Well, it could be manually, but if I want to know the function, which I don't know, what can I do? Write, for example, the 2 or 3 first letters of what I think the function is called. You know what I mean? For example, in this case, it is in Spanish, promedio, ¿correcto?
Yes.
Okay, correct. So I can say PR, and look, or PRO, or PROM, and then we can find that Excel shows us the function or functions that could be used. In this case, promedio. So what can I do with this, Juliet?
Click on promedio.
Double click, for example?
Yes.
Double click. Okay, double click. And it shows me how the function starts by the word promedio after the equal, then parentheses, and now what can I do, Juliet? Or what should I do?
Select the January data.
Okay, so I'm going to highlight, correct?
Yes, highlight.
Highlight from here, from B3, dragging the mouse to B8, correct?
Yes.
And then
The
Enter.
video, the
I am missing something at the end. What should I do at the end of the function?
The parentheses.
Sorry?
Close, close,
Oh,
close.
Close the parentheses. Because if I don't close, probably Excel will help me to close it, but sometimes it won't. Okay. So is it okay, Juliet, to enter here?
yes, teacher. Yes.
All right. So I can press enter or I can click on this little check, green check sign in order to accept the function. There we are. Okay. Now we are going to use the standard deviation. Does anybody know what the standard deviation is? Can explain what a standard deviation is? It's easy. I'm going to show, let's see here. Standard deviation. Standard deviation. I'm going to show you an explanation of this. As a matter of fact, an image of a standard deviation. So when we talk about the mean or the average, I'm going to use this. When we talk about the average, we are talking about the center. I mean, the average is something that goes from, let's see if I need the, there you are. Okay. This is what we call the normal curve or the Gauss bell. And this line in the middle is the average. The average. For example, the height of Colombian women is an average of 1.65 meters, right? Plus 10 centimeters minus 10 centimeters. So Colombian women are from 1.55 to 1.75, which I mean, whose average is 1.65 meters. So plus 10 centimeters minus 10 centimeters. This minus and plus is what we call the standard deviation. So if we can say, for example, how much do you earn a month? I earn so 4,750,000 pesos, right? Total. And the average is, let me see, the average is 791,000 pesos. Okay, so the standard deviation is going to be this minus or plus this, right? Okay, and I'm going to look for a function of standard deviation. So equal, and let's say ST, no, in Spanish, right? Es texto, estimación, desbest. Desvest P, desvest M, desvest A, desvest PA. So let's see. Desvest M calcula la desviación estándar en función de una muestra. Omite valores lógicos. Desvest P calcula la desviación estándar en función de la población. Desvest A calcula la desviación estándar de una muestra, incluidos valores lógicos y texto. Desvest PA y así sucesivamente. Entonces vamos a utilizar Desvest M, que es la desviación estándar de una muestra. Por ejemplo, de las ganancias del mes. I'm so sorry to speak in Spanish, but I want you to understand it perfectly. So I'm going to double click on here and highlight again our numbers, close it. So I earn 4,750,000 pesos a month, plus or minus 1 million pesos a month. Okay, which means that this is the average, right? But this is the standard deviation of our incomes when I take all of them into account. Okay, so use please the Desvest point M function. Do you understand what the standard deviation is? Do you have any question?
No, sir.
Okay. So we have the Desvest point M function. Ready? Okay. Now we are going to find the maximum and the minimum. Okay? Maximum and minimum. Easy. Equal, max, and that's it. Parentheses, and highlight again, close the parentheses, and this is the maximum number that is found in that list, which corresponds to the salary itself, right? And the minimum, what would be the minimum? The function for minimum.
Equal.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Equal.
Min.
Minus or min.
Well, minus, yeah.
Parentheses and highlight again, right? And that's it. Close parentheses. And now we have all the calculations we need. The total incomes, the average income, the standard deviation of incomes, the maximum, and the minimum we get. Okay? And now, as we need to calculate all of these for the rest of the months, I highlight them and drag from the little black cross in the lower right part of what I have highlighted, and drag it, and there you are. You have all of the calculations, the same calculations according to the figures you have in each month. What did I do? Drag, first of all, highlight, and then drag for the 2 other months. Remember to save. Therefore, we have for each month the same calculations, and of course they are different because the earnings are different for some of the items we have included in our monthly incomes. Okay? So please keep doing your exercise, because at the end of the class, I'm going to ask you to upload your exercise. I'm not going to grade it. I just want to see if it was easy for you to get all the functions, and if you could do the exercise as I am doing it. Okay, so please save it. And at the end of the class, I'm going to ask you to upload the exercise you have done with me. Okay, Is it clear by now? Is there any question?
It's clear for me. Thank you, teacher.
Okay,
Yes, teacher, it's clear.
great, Erica, thank you. Okay. Well, what we're going to do next is to calculate exactly the same, but horizontally. So, please, I'm going to ask somebody, some of you, to show me your screen. I'm going to stop showing my screen. I'm going to ask, for example, I don't know, who wants to explain how to calculate horizontally the functions? A volunteer. Not so many, please.
Me, teacher.
Nini, go ahead, please.
Okay.
Great.
Me,
Okay.
in this case, in total, I use equal and sum because I have my Excel in English.
But are you sure you have to open the parentheses before the name of the function?
Ah, okay. Okay. No, it's a mistake.
Okay. Would you please zoom your screen? Great. Okay.
Okay. Equal and sum
Mm-hmm.
and highlight and the
The range.
range
Uh-huh.
and close
The
parentheses
parentheses.
and enter.
Exactly. That's it. Okay.
Okay, I draw
Copy.
please.
Drag.
Copy or
Drag.
draw
Mm-hmm. To
and
exactly. Perfect.
okay, and the next activity or other person
Do it
choose?
yourself, and we are going to ask Erica for the next one, for the minimum. Do you do the maximum? And please, Erica, prepare to do the minimum, please. Go for the maximum, Nini.
Okay, equal max equal max open parentheses
Mm-hmm.
and highlight range
The range, correct.
and close parentheses
Perfect.
and enter
Uh-huh.
and draft
Drag to copy.
draft to copy.
Great. Now, Erica, would you please show us your screen?
Okay, give me 1 minute, please.
Go ahead, please. Do you know how to show the screen?
Yes, I try. So, but I can't. So give me a minute. I try to share.
Well, meanwhile, if Erica can't show, Juliet or Alejandra, would you be so kind as to show your screen and do the exercise? Juliet, Alejandra? Are you listening? Okay, please, Juliet.
Next to Laura.
Okay, go ahead, Juliet, please.
Can I pass next to another person?
You can't share your screen?
Yes, but next to another person.
Why? Are you shy to speak? Don't
Yes.
worry, we are learning here. don't worry. If you're shy to speak, it is better for you to exercise. Why don't you try, Juliet?
Mm, Teacher, how do you
Share?
paint? No, how do you uh, highlight in green in the colors in
And
the
please show me your screen. In the lower part, you can say compartir. And then compartir, you say pantalla, toda la pantalla, and compartir. The button
Perhaps
compartir.
Juliet, you didn't download the activity from Qt10
um,
because you don't have to do the chart from zero. It is in Qt10. I think that perhaps she was working in Excel book from zero. That's why she's asking you how to highlight the colors.
okay.
Yes?
So wait, yes. So wait a minute, please.
Sure.
Well, okay, next time be ready whenever I ask. Alejandra, can you show us your screen?
Teacher, I'm doing the exercise in this moment.
Okay, don't worry. Anyway, show us.
I can help you with this one if you want.
Okay, we are going to continue anyway. Okay, here you come. All right. Okay.
That's me.
Yeah.
I just want to
Okay. So we
check.
have.
I did it, but I can do it from zero. It is the minimum or the average?
Okay, so please, would you explain it to us?
Minimum or average?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's work on the average. What I have here is first of all that I have to write the function, and this one is the average, and I have my Excel in Spanish, so I should write promedio. Yeah, then I double click it. And I'm going to highlight the data. And finally, I'm going to close the function. Then I can click on this check, and there I have it. Then I go to the, how do you name this?
A little black cross.
Okay, the black cross, and then
It
I
doesn't have
drag.
a real name, right?
All right, and then you drag it, in this case, to the down it, and then I have the other values.
There you are. Okay. Okay. Now, let me show you. Let's do the standard deviation. So I'm going to show you one more thing for you to learn, which is I can copy either dragging or double clicking on the little black cross. So I can do, for example, I'm going to do the total equals suma, down, highlight this, enter, right? And instead of dragging from the little black cross, if I am beside information, I can just double click the little black cross and it will copy, but it will go to the end, right? To the end. So in this case, it is going to have information wherever I have information. So it in this case is easier to drag. But in the case of maximum, equal max, and open parentheses and highlight, then I can just simply double click and it is going to copy, well, shouldn't copy this, so it is better to drag the information I have. Equal minimum, right? Mean, the same, highlight, close, and then drag, right? 2. Okay, notice that everything is with the money sign or the money format. So we're going to analyze it. And the average is equal to promedio, the same we did before, and we highlight, close it, promedio, and drag, okay? And the standard deviation as we did before, igual, desvest, M, chun chun, the same, highlight, and close it, and then drag it. Chun. Okay, why is it 0, the standard deviation? Because values are exactly the same. So when you have exactly the same values, you don't have any deviation upwards or downwards of the curve or of the normal curve I explained before. But in other values, you have different values, so you will have a standard deviation. Okay? Right. Now, we're going to do exactly the same for expenses. So we're going to see that expenses are, for example, in energy, 200,000, and food shopping, 500,000, cellular phone, 75,000, transport, I don't know, 100,000, home gas, 45,000, amusement, that's a high expense. We're going to spend 250,000 in amusement.
What is
Amusement is activities that that you enjoy. For example, going to dance or going to the cinema or going to, I don't know, the beach and so on, right? That's amusement. Diversión in Spanish. Diversión, right?
Thank you, teacher.
Ok. Quiero decir algo en español para todas. Miren, cuando uno está aprendiendo inglés, sobre todo nos pasa a los latinos, uno quisiera hablar perfecto para poderse lanzar a hablar. Pero si algo aprendí yo aprendiendo inglés es que la única forma de fortalecer la lengua es lanzándose al agua y así sea diciendo cosas que como que no son tan gramaticalmente o de pronunciación tan buena pronunciación y también gramaticalmente armado. Uno se lanza y va aprendiendo con eso. Entonces, invito a todos los que estamos aprendiendo, porque mire, una lengua es un océano y uno aprende todos los días. Ni siquiera hablamos perfecto el español. Y hay muchas palabras y muchas gramáticas y muchas cosas que uno no podría manejarlas perfecto ni en su lengua materna. Entonces, no se preocupen, láncense al agua y aquí los vamos ayudando para que nos vamos ayudando entre todos para aprender. E incluso yo aprendo, ¿sí? El hecho es que también debemos aprender un poquito de las personas de habla inglesa, que cuando hablan español les importa un pito cómo dicen las cosas y se hacen entender. Entonces también nosotros nos podemos hacer entender. Entonces no se sientan tímidas, aquí estamos para aprender y el hecho es que no necesito es que ustedes hablen perfecto, no. Yo voy ayudándoles a corregir el idioma y pues el conocimiento de Excel y todo. ¿Listo? Entonces anímense porque para eso estamos acá, para ayudarles.
Thank you,
Entonces,
teacher.
okay, you're welcome. So, meals out of home, I don't know, 20,000 a day times, let's see, it is 20,000 a day times 5 for 40 days, 4 weeks, 40 days. No, sorry, 20 days. From Monday to Friday, the whole month, it makes 20,000 a day times 20 days. So we spend 400,000 pesos meals out of home, lunches at the office, etc. Debts payment. So my debts, I don't know, 600,000 pesos a month. Credit card, I don't know, bank loans and so on. Okay. Right. In February, it rises, everything rises 5%. So who will tell me how to calculate 5% in February? Who helps me to calculate it? One of you, let's see. Even though you're not going, you don't have to show me your screen. For example, Erika, would you please tell me how to calculate here in my screen? I mean, tell me how. 5% plus from this figure is equal to, Erika,
To 200
equals to this
plus
times,
mm,
times, multiplying or multiplied by times,
right?
times
And
1 point, how much? 5% is,
I don't know.
oh,
Okay.
5.
Okay.
Okay, is it okay?
Yes.
5% plus, okay, ready. And I'm going to copy it with double click, sorry, with dragging. Okay, so we have here the whole bunch of figures multiplied by 5%. Okay, and then we are going to copy it for March. So it will rise 5% each month. 5%. All of the figures will rise 5% each month. And as it is the relative reference, relative because when I copy it, in this case, it's referring to L3, but if I copy it, it is going to refer to M3. And if I copy it here, it is going to refer to N3. And if I copy it here, it is going to refer to O3. So it is called a relative reference. Relative reference, relative reference, okay? Now, do the calculation, please. And I think our class has to finish at 9:40, as you told me, Laura.
9:50, 5 minutes, yeah.
In 5 minutes, okay. Okay, now, do you have all the figures, the calculations? And now what we are going to do is to calculate total expenses, the average, the standard deviation, the maximum and the minimum of the expenses of each month, and then horizontally, the calculation of total expenses by each of the items we have included in the monthly expenses. So please, does anyone want to show me your screen?
Can I?
Please, go ahead. Nobody? Okay, Juliet, great. Welcome. Now, let's calculate total expenses horizontally. We are not listening to you.
Sorry. Okay. We in horizontally, yes.
Yes, but the range L3 to N3, I don't know why it is not working. Press enter, please. Oh, yeah, it's working, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we dragged to yes.
Okay.
Down.
Okay, great. So you highlighted and then,
Highlight.
I mean, you used the little black cross and drag it to copy.
Yes.
Mhm. Now let's see the maximum.
This is with maths,
Max. Mhm.
and we highlight the wait,
Excuse me, you are doing something that it shouldn't. You don't have to use to highlight. You don't have to use the little black cross, but just highlight the cells. Okay. Exactly that way. Uh-huh.
we close the parentheses.
Okay. Right. Mhm.
And again, we drag the black.
The first
Oh.
calculation. Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Now we are going to do in January. Please, would you go to January to calculate total expenses?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, is the same. The is with summa
Mm-hmm.
parentheses and highlight all the that
Exactly.
and close the parentheses.
Mm-hmm.
And we get the answer.
Little black cross. That's the
Yes.
name we gave to it.
Little
The
black.
little black
cross.
cross.
Black
As a matter of fact, I don't know how it is called.
Well, this is green, but
The average.
so the average is with promedio
Mm-hmm.
with the parentheses
Mm-hmm.
and highlight.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's it. Okay. Now let's stop there. Let's stop there, and we are going to do the last calculation, which is the blue line. The blue line, which is the total expenses minus, we have 1 minute more, right? We have 1 minute more, we have 1 minute more. I'm going to share. Okay. As all teachers, we would like to have all day long to explain. Okay, right. Here we are. Look at this. I calculate the sum igual suma, then of all our expenses. And what we're going to do next is to calculate how much were the incomes compared with total expenses to see if we have savings. So I'm going to see equal to total income, which is this one for January. Okay, this one equal to this one. Total income minus all the expenses, which is this, right? So we have a total saving of 2,580,000 pesos savings. So we are spending 2,170,000, but we earned 4,750,000 pesos, right? So if I copy this, it is going to give me the same, but this is a mistake because we have relative references, right? So let me see. Oh, no, it's okay. It's okay. The fact is that we have to calculate here the totals in order for this to tell me how much we have earned. I mean, we have saved after the expenses we have. Is it okay? Any
Yes.
question?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, any question?
No.
All right. So I don't know, Laura, if we have time
Are-
for them to upload the exercise, or we leave it for next class.
No, you can explain them where to upload it.
Okay. And in our virtual classroom, let me see. Where am I? Oh, exercise 1, student prefetch. It's kind of here. Here we are. No. And then exercise prefetch 2. Standard deviation. Here I am. I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, John. And be prepared because I'm going to ask you to upload your exercise. So save your exercise and ocultar. Let's see. Okay. Here I am. In each class, you have here for class 1, deliver here your classwork. So you are going to click there, and you are going to, I think, let me see.
I can share my screen to let you know
Yes,
how it
please.
looks as
Yes,
as
please,
a
because I
student.
haven't used this and I don't know how. Thank you
No,
very much.
and no worries, and it's because you're the teacher. So as a student, my visual is different.
Okay.
Can you stop sharing your
Yeah,
screen?
I'm going to
Sorry,
stop sharing. I'm going to stop sharing.
could you remember
There you
the
are.
form
Okay.
in the
Okay, so
What, Erika? Could
Uh,
you?
could you show again to the for the formula the standard deviation?
yes, of course. Excuse me, I'm going to show you. Or Nimi, can you show the standard deviation function, please?
Yes. Because I have in English. No,
Great,
right?
great,
Okay.
great.
Okay, give me a second, please.
No hurry, no hurry. Everything, no hurry.
Can you see my
Yeah,
book
you can
in
see your
Excel?
screen.
Okay, standard deviation is equal s, and I show s div point s.
In
In your
English,
case is instant standard point m,
deviation.
Mhm.
I believe,
Okay, okay.
and highlight the range and close parentheses and enter.
Right. And in Spanish, the standard deviation is the desvest.m, desvest.m, which means desviación estándar. Desvest, D-E-S-V-E-S-T, desvest. Is okay?
Okay,
Yeah.
teacher. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Now regarding the class,
Okay.
can you stop sharing it, Minini? Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
So now we go to our Q10, which is this one. And in here we have the first exercise, and then we have the one that says class 1, deliver here your classwork. So it appears like a homework. You can write something like, hello teacher, this is my exercise 1. Thank you.
Claro, I can't see cargar archivo.
And then I click on upload, and then I go for my document. It's because it is still open, sorry.
You have to close it before uploading.
I just decide to name it Gonzalez Laura, but it says student 1, and then you
Accept.
upload it.
So great, because I will have also your homework. Okay, great. Did you understand, Erika, Alejandra, Juliet, Nini, how to upload the homework? I mean, the
Yes,
classwork.
teacher. I
Yes, teacher.
Great.
Yes, teacher.
Amazing.
Is there any difficulty to upload the homework, Alejandra, Juliet, Erika, for me to know?
No, teacher, all is good.
Erika,
Great.
any
Yes.
difficulty? Alejandra,
No, it's okay.
it's okay. Alejandra,
No, teacher is clear.
it's okay. Don't worry if you haven't finished. I just want to see where you got, and to help you to decide or to make your knowledge better about Excel and English. Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you too. Thank you very much for your kind attention, and don't worry if you don't speak great English. We all are learning English every day. One advice for you to learn English: don't wait for the class to think in English. Try to think in English every day, a little bit at least. In any situation, I am having lunch and this lunch is nice, and then I'm going to go to blah, blah, blah. And at night, I'm going to do this and that, and think in English in order for you to develop the skills to try to interact in the language, both with yourself and with other people, right? Don't wait for class, not only class. Okay, thank you very much for your kind attention. I don't know if you have something to add, Laura.
No, just be attentive to your Q10, guys, in case of no information, but we're going to connect it exactly in the same link. And I am an English teacher, but I'm learning Excel, so that's why I'm going to join you each class, right? I'm not an expert in Excel, so that's why I'm taking this class.
Okay, great.
All right.
Do you want to express any, I don't know, opinion about the class? Anything that
I do love it, Juan. It was amazing, so practical. To me, it's clear more the use of functions, the key vocabulary that Excel has. I think it's important, the great pronunciation too. So I think it was a great first interaction. So thank you so much.
Great. Thank you very
And
much.
it was a pleasure to having you too, guys, Juliet, Nini, Alejandra, Erika. So
Okay.
thank
Any
you.
comments of Nina, Erika, Alejandra, Juliet?
and thank you, teacher. I like the class. Good class.
Okay. Thank you very much. Erika, Alejandra, Juliet are okay?
Yes, teacher, it's okay. I understand everything. And I am also I am new in learning English and Excel.
Mhm.
So it's a good experience for me.
Okay. Thank you very much. Anyway, as I told you, don't be shy. Talk. We are going to learn a lot. Have a nice
Thank
day,
you.
all of you.
Thank you, teacher,
Bye.
for the class.
Laura,
Thank
Sure,
would you
thank you.
keep here a little bit?
Sure.
Okay. So, see you next Saturday.
Bye, teacher.
Thank you very
Okay,
much for your
teacher, thank you.
participation, Nini, Erika, Juliet.
Have a good day.
Bye. You can stop recording.
Yeah. Let's stop recording. Recording. Pausar.